Fred here, welcome back to the Gear Obsession channel. In this episode we'll be taking a look at Steam Crave's version 2 of their Aromamizer RDTA. It should go without saying that Steam Crave makes products that enable you to chase flavor. I'm moving this like the pillow guy moves the pillow when he's talking. I know, it makes me cringe when I say it. Anyway, a lot of changes in the version 2. I do have one in my old version 1, so you can take a peek and see how it's changed a little bit. But a lot of flavor can come out of this little guy, and a lot of vapor too. Steam Crave did send me this to review for free. But just wanted to let you know, full disclosure there, but it will no way influence my review. I'll give you the good and the bad. So let's take a close look. So this tank, the 3 milliliter version of this, runs $44.99, and this is stainless steel. They also have a 6 milliliter version, same price, $44.99. Also, if you buy one of these, you could buy parts to make it into this, and vice versa. So you don't have to buy 2 total ones if you don't want to. You can also, by the way, they also have different colors. They have like the black versions of both. Those will cost you $2 more, so it'll be $46.99. Either one, 3 or 6 milliliter. You could also buy different glass for it. So if you don't like the clear, you could get red or blue or black. I happen to have the red one, so you can sort of see how they come if you order one of them, and they only cost like $2.50. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch it out. I'm going to switch it to the red one when I take this apart to show you all the different pieces and the internals of this tank. Now, other things about it is it's made entirely of 304 stainless steel, good quality. The diameter, I know that's important to some of you, is 23 millimeters. And again, 3, 4, 6. Did I say milliliters? This is 23 millimeters, and it can hold either 3 milliliters in this tank or 6 milliliters of juice. For your convenience, I went ahead and provided all the links below. You might have to scroll down a little bit to get to them. But alright, I do have my build deck here. I already put the coils in here. It doesn't come with coils already built on the deck. But if you want to see me actually putting those on there, I was demonstrating it in my last video, which I put up yesterday, which was the Coilmaster 521 tab. So let's go ahead and pull the drip tip off. Right there. You have one O-ring. You know what? I always get things out of order. This is the box that it came in. You get an extra clear glass tank. You get a whole bunch of O-rings, extra O-rings, and extra grub nuts right there. You also get a Allen key that's down in there. You can see it peeking out right there, a sticker and some instructions. So that's what comes with this. I'm going to put this all back so I don't lose it. Okay, so let's go ahead and disassemble this. Pretty simple. We'll go ahead and unscrew here. Let me close up a little bit. Close in a little bit. Nice knurling. The machining on all the Steam Crave products are always really, really good. So we'll go ahead and unscrew that so you can take a look. So there's your build deck. Again, it didn't come with these coils already on it. I sort of did that ahead of time. You see you got your 2-post design, 2 millimeter holes. So obviously you could get clapped in there like I did here. There's your grub nuts on each side. You can actually unscrew this deck if you want to. And that's kind of important when it comes to cleaning. You can see you have an O-ring there, some probably peak insulation right there. Another O-ring right there. I say right there a lot. But what this does is juice ends up going underneath the build deck, and you can see the holes underneath those coils, 1, 2, 3, 4, and you want your wick to land, you know, down over those holes, so when the juice comes underneath the deck and, you know, fills up this part right here, it'll come up through those holes. So your juice, how does your juice end up getting down into this outer channel here? Well, it comes through these holes, like you have your liquid oil in this tank, and it comes down through these holes. And the deck seals into the chamber right here. So that's how that all works. And that's also, these holes is how you fill your tank up, and we'll be doing that before the end of the video. Now you could also take apart this tank. By the way, also airflow control while I have this off. You could either have 2 holes or 4 holes of air into the chamber. See, if I put 1 hole on each side, it's going to open up 2 of these holes that you could sort of see inside there. And if I turn this where you could see 2 of the 3 holes, so you got a hole there, hole there, hole there, hole there, then all 4 of these holes that go into your chamber will open up. So you have juice passing this way, and you have your airflow directly entering the chamber right where the coils are, through these holes right through that way. That's why there's sort of a space, like these juice holes. You can see how there's a little more solid metal right there, because that's where the airflow is sort of going. So that's everything in a nutshell. So you could change your glass, relatively simple, or disassemble this, by the way, if you need to clean it. All you do is just sort of open this up. I'm going to go ahead and take this glass out. I'm going to change it up for the red one. You could also see there's an O-ring right there. There's an O-ring in there. I'm going to go ahead and put the red one in here. Just like that. Put it together. Nice threading there. Always smooth threading with steam Crave. I'll go ahead and put this together. Make sure your glass is inside here. If you sort of have it sticking out and you start screwing this, you're going to break it. So please be careful. Alright. Now before I put the base back on, I'm going to go ahead and put the drip tip back in there. Not too much rocking. I do prefer 2 O-rings. This will be my first criticism. They have 1 O-ring on the drip tip that comes with this. I prefer 2 O-rings only because it totally gets rid of any kind of rocking, and you can see just a little bit. This is the case with all single O-ring drip tips. It's just a little pet peeve of mine. Just me. Some people, it really doesn't really matter much. So I'm going to go ahead and put this onto my coil master, and I'm going to have to put some wick material in there. So let me go ahead and do that, and we'll be right back. For the length of the wick, see this inner circle that's right here? I sort of cut even with that when I cut my wicks on this particular deck. So we'll go ahead and do that. There we go. And then just tuck it in underneath. This might be a little too long. Let me see how this side ends first. So I'm just going to go ahead and tuck this in. I tend not to do these things on camera because I'm a terrible on-camera builder. We'll go ahead and make sure that's down there. And this is organic cotton. Japanese organic cotton that I bought in bulk. See, this is where I get on camera and I can't do this. It probably would help if I wet these wicks a little bit, but alright, not too terrible. I'll get everything tucked in very nice. We don't want it to extend over that inner deck here. So I'll get everything tucked in. I'll probably just wet it to help it tuck. We also want to make sure you leave an area right here underneath for air to get underneath those coils too. So let me get some juice. What I'm going to be vaping today is something I picked up at my local vape shop, which is Pleasant Vapes. Experiment 1 from Telos, by Telos. It was recommended by a gentleman who works there. He let me try it. That's one of the great things about local vape shops. You get to try before you buy. these juices. Really important, because some of these juices can be kind of expensive, and you know, it kind of sucks if you spend $10–20 on a juice and then you end up not liking it, and that's a lot of money down the drain. So these vape shops usually provide a means for you to be able to try it out. So support your local vape shop. You know, yeah, you could probably get things online because they're not paying for brick and mortar, but you know, there's a downside to that. Then your local vape shops are not going to survive, and then you won't have it anymore, and then you'll be wasting money buying things that, you know, you weren't able to check out in person before. So it's important. Alright, so now that these wicks are wet, I could help coax them all inside that inner small deck right there, because that has to get into this chamber right here. So it's important to get everything tucked in and make sure your coils are not sticking out. Alright, so now I could go ahead and light this off also, just to make sure everything is working good. Alright, there we go. So this doesn't provide too much power, so let me just give it just a couple of more drops there, and then we'll go ahead and loosen this and get it ready to go. And the next thing we're going to do is fill the tank. So here's your tank. Again, you're going to have to go and just put it into this outer ring right here to fill it up. So this is a little, you know, it's a little awkward, especially because it doesn't fit directly, but it doesn't need to fit directly into the hole. You can just sort of put it into that channel there, and it'll just sort of fall down into those holes slowly. So we'll go ahead and fill this up, and we'll be right back. You know, I didn't quite explain this experiment one by Telos too well. It has a sort of a corn flavor, but it has an interesting history that's written on this bottle. In this bottle is a tiny piece of Telos history. In 2013, before Telos even had a name, we tried to create a cereal flavor that was reminiscent of both frosting and flakes. It didn't turn out quite like they planned. In this bottle is the first Telos flavor ever conceived. It's a little bit of corn, a little bit of pudding, and a heaping pile of innovation. It was our first experiment. It is experiment 1. You know, and they didn't release it for a long time, and then they finally did put it out there for us to try, you know, 3 years later. So, kind of interesting. Didn't quite turn out the way that they intended, but it's still pretty good. And when they let me try it in the vape shop, I fell in love with it right away. So I'm going to go ahead and, you know, put this guy in here. Close it up. By the way, adjustable 510 pin right there. I said right there again. Designed by BJ, of course. There's the serial number. It is authentic. This did come right from them. There is a scratch and sniff right there if you need to make sure it's real, which is kind of important these days. I mean, these things are relatively inexpensive for the quality they are, so I wouldn't bother with any kind of clone or anything, and I don't think there's too many clones of the Steam Crave product. So I'm going to go ahead and put this on the Nokin Cool Fire 4 Plus today, because I thought the red would kind of go with the white, kind of neat like that. I thought that looked pretty cool, just like that. The black, all black probably would have went even better, but you know, that's alright. Now, I wanted to show you some differences. You sort of saw what this deck looked like. I happen to have one of the old original RDTAs, and you can see how they used to use a silicone band for your adjustment, and now they went to metal. And there's good and bad to it. The metal feels more solid and just feels like a better build, but it's hard to turn because there's no knurling on this ring. So especially if you get juice on your fingers, it's very stiff, and it could be kind of a little bit hard to turn. So like for version 3, I would recommend putting a little bit of knurling right there like you do down here, and that would help you get a grip on that ring and make things even easier. Also, The build deck is quite different. Just to show you what this build deck looked like compared to the other one. You can see that one was a 2-post where you could put 4 coils on there. This one only 1 in there. So just thought you'd like to see that. But you can see the same thing goes on with the way the juice flows and the way the air flows. Nothing changed there as far as the way that they get the flavor out of these tanks. So let me go ahead and get everything adjusted, and then we'll go ahead and try it out. Okay, I'm ready to go. What I did was I set this at 50 watts. Here's your settings. Alright. Focus is not going to cooperate here, but it's 0.35 ohms. It ends up 4.18 volts and 50 watts. Alright. So let's see how it vapes. I'll tell you, the Coolfire actually feel very comfortable in the hand. They got a good thing going there. Alright, here we go. I'm sorry, I gotta vape this again. I love this juice. And, as always, Steam Crave knows how to maximize the taste and flavor and the intensity of whatever juice you put in it. That's what's so great about Steam Crave's RDTAs, especially with the new version too. I don't vape like a professional. I know there's the professional vapors that know how to get the biggest plumes. Let me see if I can do that. But remember, I'm not a pro. I'm just an average guy just enjoying vape products and glad I'm not smoking. That was a big cloud. You know, I mean, Steam Crave is not known for big vapor, but wow, you know what? I need to back up and show this off, because that was pretty impressive for this, you know, just a little guy right here, a little tank right there. Wow, that was really good. It's big. It's still got vapor coming out. I love it. I love it. So, if you want a nice tank where you can customize it, change out parts and everything, I provided even links to the glass, and you could go through the website and find individual parts. So if a part gets damaged, they have all the parts, everything, and you can make the 3 milliliter into the 6 milliliter if you want to, like just replacing the top portion here. It's really cool. It's awesome. So highly recommend it. Again, the only downside that I really have of this is the airflow. Although it's very good, of course, they don't. It would be nice if they had some knurling around there. It's kind of stiff. Now, you know what? Before we close down, I'm going to go down to just two holes. So that means I have 1 hole open on each side. So that should intensify the flavor, but cut down the amount of vapor. Really, really good. No dry hit. Very intense flavor. Actually, a little bit warmer there. Now that it's closed down, it did warm up a little bit. I like it a lot. I really do. And no whistling. I know that's another thing I should sort of point out when I do these reviews. I should point out if there's any kind of weird whistling noises or anything like that. I'm going to cut it down to half hole on each side. A little bit of whistle. Then I'm going to cut it down to barely open. I mean, it's just a little hair open. It's almost totally shut. I want to see if I could go ahead and get it almost like a cigarette kind of draw, so I could do a mouth to lung on here. See how that turns out. Really good, really good. This is a good General purpose, all purpose, everyday kind of tank. Really good. Again, 3 or 6 milliliters, whatever fits your needs. Steam Crave RDTA version 2. Thank you very much for joining me here at the Gear Obsession channel. I really do appreciate every friend, viewer, subscriber, and especially you. And I hope you have a great day. Take care. Bye.